And a sad story to report this evening as the remains of Army Staff Sergeant Errol James was returned to St. Croix yesterday. James died of non-combat related injuries sustained in Afghanistan. Let's take a look as his family, friends, and dignitaries alike pay their respects.
On behalf of our community, I want to extend my condolences to Sergeant James' family and to his wife in particular. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us this afternoon. She won't be here for the funeral, but I just want her and her entire family to know that how grateful we are as a community for the tremendous sacrifice. I think it is days like today to make us realize how fortunate we are that we have men and women who are willing to serve in the armed forces, and that the Virgin Islands has been tremendously involved through the participation of our young folks and through our National Guard and the Army, and today really shows the gratefulness of our community. It is very hard to experience the emotions that his family is feeling today, to watch them and his siblings and his immediate family and what's going through their head, but it is something that all of us should be grateful for, to the extent that Sergeant James was willing to be a part of this community and to stand up and fight for us. And again, on behalf of myself, on behalf of my wife and my family and the entire community, my heart goes out for Sergeant James. May his soul rest in peace, and that for his mother and his father and for all his siblings, that they find comfort in the fact that his fellow officers were here today to show their respect to him, and that we're here as a community to also show our respect to him, and how grateful we are for them.
And I also would like to pass on my condolences on behalf of my family, the staff of the Lieutenant Governor's office. I have to also show my sentiments, but one thing I want to let the community know, this is a great loss, not only for the Virgin Islands, but America. But I spoke with the family yesterday, and I want to say the family, the mother is very strong. And I want to let residents to know, as a former member of the military also, this is something that we have expected. We took a solemn oath. And I want the residents to know that we must be proud of our soldiers, because this is something that Sergeant James did. He wanted to serve in the military, and he gave the ultimate sacrifice. And again, I want to pass on my condolences, and let's be strong and let's continue to support our soldiers, amen, in the military.
I would just add my words of condolences on behalf not only of myself, my family, and my staff, but on behalf of the Congress of the United States. The condolences to the family, those who are here, and the wife who's not, but also our gratitude for the service of Sergeant James, and our gratitude to the sacrifice that the family has made through his service and his being lost in that service. He's given the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of all of us, on behalf of this country, and it's something that we will be eternally grateful for, and something that we just have to work extra bit harder to make sure that all of our citizens of the United States Virgin Islands and all of the territories get what they deserve for the service that they provide on behalf of all of us.
The entire staff here at News Channel 8 offer our heartfelt condolences to the James family. We'll be right back after these messages. A Ford Foundation grant has made it possible for the Virgin Islands community to become more aware of the deadly HIV and AIDS virus. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the details.
Today we're at Charles Harwood Hospital. I'm here with Barbara Lee Jackson, who is the president of
the executive director of the Virgin Islands Perinatal Incorporated, and project director for our Women of Color Living in the Virgin Islands Path to Health Justice program, which is the reason why we're here today. We had embarked on a mission to basically provide information and leadership skills for women living in the territory that focused on the reproductive and sexual health and rights. And today we are in part partnership with a variety of community-based organizations and the Department of Health and Frederiksted Healthcare Center, looking at how we can be much more responsive to the needs of women living with the HIV, AIDS, and virus. And we actually were able to get a grant from the Ford Foundation that provided a travel grant to bring some technical support and assistance to our efforts today. And we can maybe talk to Yolanda Simons today from Trinidad.
Well, here we are now with one of the guest speakers, Miss Yolanda Simon from Trinidad, who is in charge of the Eastern Caribbean region of
the Caribbean Regional Network of people living with the disease.
Okay, and I just asked Ms. Jackson the same question. How are we doing? I don't want to get in specific numbers, but how are we doing with AIDS awareness in our territory?
Well, I think the awareness is quite high. It's the behavior change that we have a little problem with.
Okay, well, you kind of left that door open. When you say that, what are you referring to?
Well, I think because in the Caribbean, we have had HIV/AIDS programs in place since 1987. So the awareness is quite high. Everybody knows the ABCs of HIV. We know how you get HIV. We know how it's spread. We know how to avoid it. Yet the statistics keeps rising. So it has something to do with us as Caribbean people and our behavior patterns.
Okay, Ms. Simon, I feel you on that one. We need to step up as men and women. We need to step up to the plate.
I think more than step up, we need to understand that HIV is not the responsibility of our ministries of health, but it is our individual responsibility as citizens of this region that we practice safer sex.
Here we are at the HIV awareness workshop with Miss Barbara Lee Jackson and Miss Yolanda Simon. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.